there's something called emotional energy, right? So we've talked a little bit about physical energy. We've talked about eating energy. We've even talked about sleeping energy. But what about emotional energy?
Oh, there you are.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
How are you, my love? How are you?
I'm so good.
How's Giz?
Giz is doing okay. He's a little sleepy right now. He wants to say hi.
Hi, Giz.
And he
love you, buddy. We're going to have to give him some energy.
I know, we do. We do. I know, oh, buddy. You okay? He was coughing a little bit during my introduction of you, so I had to repeat it.
Of course. It's all good. We love Giz.
You want to go up here, buddy? You want to sit by the book? Yeah? Sort of like, nope. He wants to come sit on my lap. All right. Over here. So how is everything? Let me see what we have here. We have people who are excited from Brazil, North Carolina, here in LA.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Asked me about vitamin B12. I actually have super high levels of vitamin B12, so I don't need to have, actually I get it from my food. But I can always recommend some brands later when we're off here. But we are here to chat about you. So tell me, I've already given a little intro on you, but I want, for those people, because we haven't been on for a little while, I had shared with everyone that we've been on a couple times, and they can always go and check out on YouTube or on Facebook our other episodes. They weren't as much book related, but just sleep related. So if you could give everyone just like a super brief intro on you, your awesomeness, everything that you've been doing, what led you up to here, and then I want to dive into this new book that you have.
Of course. So first of all, everybody should know that Serena is one of the more important people in my life. She brings light into everyone's life around her, and she's such an enormous, important person. I know everybody who's on this live knows and understands that, but I just want to set it out there that she's freaking awesome. And we love her in every way imaginable and possible. So that's number one. Number two, we're also personal friends. We talk on a fairly regular basis. So we know a lot about each other, and we know exactly what's going on with all of it. Robin says, amen. I love it, Robin. Right there, girl. So let me give you a little bit of quick background, even though Serena knows me well. Some of you guys might not. Quick intro. So my name is Dr. Michael Breus. I am a sleep specialist. I've been a sleep doctor for 23 years. And I've been working recently in a whole host of different areas. So a lot of the different things that I do are I write books, I do articles, I do IG lives with my friend Serena. I do all kinds of things because the goal here is to educate people on how to sleep better. You know, so many people, the only time they see a sleep specialist is if they've got sleep apnea and they're in the doctor's office. And who wants to go to the doctor's office, right? I don't, and I'm a doctor, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people, we want to give people the opportunity to learn more. And Serena is a huge fan of sleep. I know that for a fact because we've talked about it on numerous occasions. But sleep isn't the only thing that's out there. And so one of the things that's important to recognize is nutrition. I know Serena talks quite a bit about that. Sleep, but also movement and moving around. And so one of the things that happened to me was some of my patients were coming up to me and they were saying, Dr. Breus, I'm exhausted. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're sleeping just fine. How can you be exhausted during the daytime? My friend Stacey Griffith, who's also a founding trainer of SoulCycle and my co-author of the book that you can see right over Serena's left shoulder. There you go, right there. Go out and buy it, please. Buy 10. I don't care. As many as you want. One of the things that she and I talked about was she said that her clients were exhausted after exercising. And I said, hold on a second. Sleep is supposed to give people energy. Exercise is supposed to give people energy. We know nutrition is supposed to give people energy. Why are so many people walking around saying that they're exhausted? And so we decided to come up with a plan, a program based on real science that was going to help people be able to understand how to do certain things in their lives better based on timing and based on their body type and their chronotype. So that's what we did, is we put together an amazing, amazing book. I feel fortunate to have Stacey as my co-author, and we've really got some interesting aspects to the book that nobody's ever seen before, and I'm going to tell you about them in just a second.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for your kind words. I just love you so much. And I'm so grateful for our friendship. And for those of you, some of you know, because you've been sharing this space with me for I guess since we started, but Dr. Breus was one of the people that really helped when my sister and I had COVID. I mean, he checked in every day. It was just, he's such an angel. So I'm so grateful to you for so many things, and just so grateful for everything that you do here. And so much of that has been translated into this new book. And by the way, you guys, Dr. Breus has other books. So here, that's pinned, this comment that's on the bottom here, it's Dr. Breus's Instagram account. So make sure you go there, give him a follow, check out all the things he's doing. He puts out an incredible newsletter on a regular basis. So you definitely want to sign up for that, because he's so much information, not just about sleep, but all kinds of things. And so definitely want to sign up there. But this is the new book. And you know, before we get off today, I definitely want you to just share a little bit about your other books as well, because I think that maybe just getting the whole collection for Christmas would be a good idea for some people. But this is the new one. And before we dive into everything that's in it that I want you to share, first of all, we can get it from Amazon, or so let us know where we can order it from.
So Amazon, Books A Million, wherever books are sold, or you can go to my website, which is called energizemyself.com. You can go and take the quiz, order the book right there. You can go to my website, which is thesleepdoctor.com. You can order it there. So honestly, just go to Google and type in Energize, and you should find it pretty quickly.
Yeah. So you mentioned a quiz. I definitely want to chat about that before we even talk about it. Because so people need to understand like what this quiz is and what it's going to tell them, and why it's so helpful, you know, to get the book following the quiz, and how that whole process will work. So let's talk about the quiz for a second.
So the quiz is designed to help you identify something about yourself that you might not actually know. So one of the things that we talk about is something called your chronotype. Now, remember, I've talked a little bit about this before, but I'm going to go and do a quick double tap to give people a brief explanation. So your chronotype is your genetic predisposition for your sleeping and hormonal schedule. It's kind of like your own swim lane, if you will. I call it your chronotypical swim lane of when you should wake up, when you should go to bed, and things like that. It turns out there are 4 different chronotypes. Now, you may have heard of the word chronotype, but you probably, you probably heard of the concept and not the word before. If anybody out there's ever been called an early bird or a night owl, those are chronotypes. So, yep, I know. So I'm the night owl. Which one are you? Are you the wolf?
I feel like I'm both. You know, I'm a night owl.
I know, because you're up super late. I think you're a wolf like me, because every time I call you, it's like midnight and you're awake.
Yeah, but then I can get up really early too. So
you're a bit of an anomaly.
I'm a strange creature.
Well, no, you're an angel, and that's why you get to do the things that you do. So that's a whole different story. But chronotypes are incredibly important, and it turns out they're genetic. So I can look on your 23andMe data or your Ancestry.com data, and we can figure it out. Also, if you happen to know what your chronotype is, go ahead and send a comment in the chat and let us know what your chronotype is. And if you haven't figured it out, go to chronoquiz.com and you can figure it out real fast. But this will actually tell you when to wake up, when to go to bed, when to drink coffee, when to be intimate with your partner, when to drink alcohol. I mean, I can tell you so many different things about your hormonal schedule. So that's the first part of the quiz. The second part of the quiz has to do with something called your body type. Now, I'm going to ask you to go backwards in time for a moment to high school biology for just a second, okay? So when you think about high school biology, you learned about these things called body types: endomorph, mesomorph, ectomorph. So I'm going to revisit that for just a second, because it turns out that that's super important. So an endomorph is somebody who's a little bit on the bigger side. They have a tendency to carry their weight through the middle, onto their hips, and into their buttocks area. The mesomorphs, these are people that have a tendency, their shoulders are a little bit wider than their waist. So they have a tendency to be a bit more V-shaped in their musculature. And ectomorphs are the long and lean people. They're super skinny, kind of up and down sort of way. What we think this is we think this has a lot to do with your metabolism, right? So an ectomorph is somebody that's got a fast metabolism. A mesomorph is somebody with a medium metabolism, and an endomorph is somebody with a slower metabolism. This becomes very important when you try to do something called intermittent fasting. So I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting. I know you are as well. And there's lots of different ways that you can do intermittent fasting, but nobody gives you the guideposts. Nobody says, hey, this is how long you should fast, or this is when you should fast. That problem has now been solved by Dr. Breus and Stacey Griffith, because what we did was when you take this quiz, you learn your body type, and that tells you all of those things. So I'm gonna give people a sneak peek under the covers as to how this really works. Okay.
Yes.
So first of all, you got to figure out your body type. If you want to go to the quiz and figure it out, it will take you 2 seconds, but I'll give you an easy way to check it out as well. If you take your thumb and your forefinger and you put it around your wrist, if you can touch, you're a mesomorph. If they overlap, you're an ectomorph. And if they don't touch, you're an endomorph. Yep. So yours overlap, not a surprise there. So you're an ectomorph, and so you've got extra space, which means you're one of the long and lean people. I'm a mesomorph. You can see mine literally just touch. And so I'm one of the V-shaped. And for people who just don't quite touch, they're endomorphs. Easy way to figure it out. Now let's figure out what we're going to do with that piece of information. So the length of your fast is dependent on your body type. So if you're a long and lean ectomorph, we don't want you fasting for too long because then you'd lose too much weight. You're already kind of small. So 12 hours feed, 12 hours fast. If you're a mesomorph like me, you would do a 14-hour fast, 10-hour feed. Notice how we changed it by about 2 hours there. If you're an endomorph, a little bit on the bigger side and looking to lose weight, then you would do a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour feeding schedule. So now we actually have some guidelines of how to start this crazy thing called intermittent fasting, because quite frankly, nobody ever told us what to do. Right.
Well, and it's so simple, Right. This is so amazing. So much information right now. I can tell everyone's loving it. Yay. Okay.
So that tells you how long to fast. Then your chronotype tells you when to fast. So as you know, I'm not a big breakfast person. I love breakfast food, but I can barely eat a thing in the morning time. That makes it super difficult for me. So as a wolf chronotype, that's a night owl for you folks. I fast until about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then as a mesomorph, I can feed for about 10 hours. Now, to be fair, I don't eat till midnight. But I could, if I wanted to, keep that section of time for me to be able to do that. I like to stop eating about an hour, hour and a half before bed. So I've hemmed it in a little bit, but generally speaking, this guides me through my intermittent fasting. Right?
This works for me.
I know,
this also
exactly.
explains how I am.
It's so straightforward and it's so simple. So that's one of the things that you'll get by taking the quiz and buying the book, is we create a personalized schedule for intermittent fasting based on you. So that's the big thing that I like about the book so much, is the personalization to it. Of course, we've got the sleep information based on your chronotypes to tell you when to go to bed, when to wake up, those types of things. And then we have something really new that Stacey developed, which is all about movement.
Okay.
You ready?
Awesome. Yeah. Dive in, because I'm gonna sneak peek. Can I show them certain pages in this book?
You can, absolutely. So you could show them the endomorph, mesomorph, ectomorph characterizations. I think that's chapter 2. That would be something that people might be able to look at and see. It's really actually pretty cool. But let me tell you about these movements real quick.
Yeah.
So I want to be honest with you. These movements are not exercise. They're a moving schedule, not an exercise schedule. If you want to work out, that's something that you can do. But I want you to have consistent energy throughout the day. Because here's the thing. We know that a body at rest tends to stay at rest. And a body in motion tends to stay in motion.
Mm-hmm.
You have said this more times than I can count, Serena. Sitting is the new smoking,
Mm-hmm.
right? We cannot be on our butts all day long. We've got to be up, moving around, and getting it out there, right? Exactly. A little bit of shaking, a little bit of bouncing. It's all good for us. So, but getting that break in that focused Zoom attention where you're locked and loaded on something all day long, it's never very good. This is a movement schedule that anybody can follow. It literally takes 5 minutes, 5 times a day.
Oh, wow.
So here's what, it's super simple. So here's what you do. When you wake up in the morning, even while you're brushing your teeth, we ask you to do a stretch. Now, this can be an over the head stretch like this. It can be a straight up, out to the sides, over the sides, whatever you want to do. But that helps kind of wake your body up. Because let's be honest, when we wake up in the morning, our bodies are kind of stiff, right?
Yeah.
We want them to kind of get into the groove of exactly. See, she's doing it right there. I love it. Then right before lunch, we'll do a shake. So you ever notice what Giz does when he wakes up?
Yeah.
Right? He shakes his whole little body, right? It's very energetically engaging, right? So like when I do that, it's like, oh my God, my head feels like, right, exactly.
He's looking at me like, what are you doing right now? Because he's in my lap.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So exactly. So we do a shake. The second one after lunch is a bounce. So maybe you have a mini tramp, maybe you do some jumping jacks, or you just jump around, or maybe you go and you skip a little bit. I know that sounds a little childish, but I'm going to tell you something. It's a lot of fun. I was skipping down the street the other day. My neighbors, who already think I'm a little crazy, were definitely thinking that I'm losing it. But let me tell you something. It's so much fun, right? And it's about adding fun to your life. That helps you with energy. That helps you kind of do things like that. After the bounce is a build. This is where you use a major muscle group. So you might do a push-up, you might do some sit-ups or some deep knee bends, but using a major muscle group to activate it, not to the point of sweating, just to the point of getting yourself activated, right? And then the final one is balance. This is usually done before bed, like a tree pose, something to help slow you down, help be a little bit more meditative, and really infuse the idea of balance in your system. It's incredibly, incredibly important. But these 5 movements will keep you with consistent energy all day long. And we choose movements based on body type. So here's the other thing that drives me crazy. And this is one of the areas that Stacey was so important in, is I would say to her, well, how do you know what exercises to give people to do? And she was like, oh, well, I do it based on, what their body looks like. And so my long and lean people, if I tell them to go run a mile, no problem. They can go off and do that. But if I ask them to lift a bunch of heavy weight, they're not too interested. Whereas my endomorphs, a little bit on the bigger side people, they love pushing weight, but don't like necessarily doing cardio. So we were able to discover different exercises based on their body types that are going to be more preferential for them.
Brilliant. And I love this because you just made it so simple. Like there's literally no reason that someone can't incorporate this into their life. And you know how much I'm always talking about, like making something sustainable, making something so you don't even have to think of it. It just becomes how you are as you are. And it just makes it so simple. And I feel that there's been so many different complexities for people when it comes, like you said, to fasting, how you eat, how you should exercise, just all of that. And you guys have all in one place with a quiz attached to it. Now people can really take control of their health, of optimizing their energy, all of that. And this is what everybody needs. This is what we're looking for, especially in like this COVID, post-COVID, whatever COVID era, where people are struggling with maybe some extra weight or maybe just feeling, like feeling more fatigued than normal. This makes it so easy. You don't have to get up and go for a run. You can just get up and bounce around or shake it up or skip or jump on your rebounder or just simple things that gives you sustained energy. And that also helps with our mental health, right? So
100%. I'm so glad you brought up. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up mental health because there's something called emotional energy, right? So we've talked a little bit about physical energy. We've talked about eating energy. We've even talked about sleeping energy. But what about emotional energy? So I'm going to tell you something. You know this to be true. There are people in some people's lives that are emotional vampires, okay? They just suck the life right out of you. Now, the good news is you're the opposite. You're an energy giver, not an energy taker. Although sometimes you need to be careful because sometimes you give away more than you receive. We'll talk about that in another time. But we know that there are energy vampires out there that just take it from us. And now let's be honest, okay? It's okay to have these people in your lives. Sometimes they might even be your partner. But knowing what time of day that you can handle that becomes very critical, because if they catch you at a low point, you get lower, right? So being able to deal with these people and knowing when you can deal with them becomes important. And we've got some hacks for energy, emotional energy, that I want to tell people about.
Yeah.
One of my big ones, which is one of the ones that I know you practice every single day, kindness. A lot of people don't think about it, but being kind changes everything about your whole soul, changes everything about your energy, right? When you present an act of kindness, even to an energy vampire, somebody who's down in the dumps, somebody who's really having a hard time, you spend that time with them, not allowing them to take your energy, but to give kindness. Guess what happens? You become energetically positive, and you might bring them along with you, right? So always, kindness is one of my first emotional energy hacks. My second one, music. So Serena, you know my son Cooper. He's a musician, bopping around, doing all of this kind of cool, fun stuff. Yeah. We had him become the morning DJ around here. So when he lived here, I love it. So 7 a.m., he got to turn on whatever he wanted. And on many an occasion, it was the Beastie Boys. You have to fight for your right to party at 7 a.m. at volume 10. But the whole house was bopping around. We had so much fun. That's so fun. Right? So it's really about these breaks of changing the flow of that energy, right? So kindness is one. Music is one. I actually keep a playlist called The New Funky on my phone. And when I'm feeling down, I just press the New Funky, and honestly, within 30 seconds, I'm feeling better.
Your state.
Right. Like change that state. The other one, laughter. Laughter is a big one. A lot of people don't think about it. And there's lots of ways to induce laughter. Again, my son likes to send me jokes from this joke website that he sees, right? Awesome. So here's where it gets really great is my son, who I care about more than anything in the world, sending me something. So that feels good. Number 2, he sends me a joke, which makes me laugh. And number 3, I can then call him back or text him back and be like, dude, that was hilarious, and make him feel good energetically because he made me feel good energetically. Like, this is how it works, people. It's called communication. It's about caring about one another. It's about understanding where we are energetically. So I can't think of a better way to kind of have some guideposts and then start to figure out your energy path. It's really pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we did something a couple years ago when there was COVID, called Love Notes.
Yes, I remember Love Notes.
Yeah, and it's where you just send some love notes to people, whether it's on a text or you can leave Post-its for your mail person or whatever it is. And it's just this beautiful flow of energy. It's an energy exchange between you and someone else. You may not even know it's a stranger, but then that keeps that flow going because then they want to then share that and extend that energy forward. It's almost like paying something forward, except it's kindness, kindness and energy. So I love that. That's awesome. It's so amazing. So, okay, so there's so much goodness in this book, and since we're kind of at the half an hour point, I just want to sort of like do a refresh for people and to people who have kind of jumped on and off. We're talking about Dr. Breus's new book. It's called Energize. And if you go to the pinned comment here, you can see Dr. Breus's Instagram account. You can go to his website, and he has amazing information, not just about sleep. Oh, yay, someone just purchased. I love that. Yay.
Thank you.
And by the way, he's got other books too. So you'll see that on his website, his other books, which we can talk about for a couple minutes, before we go. But this book is really it's so all-inclusive. It talks about your body type, your sleep type, your energy type, just all the things that you need to know to really kind of hack who you are, and a
Absolutely.
simple way to optimize how you sleep, when you eat, what you eat, how you move. And by doing this, you not only give yourself an incredible amount of energy, but you can also pass that energy forward. It kind of allows you to sort of function in a way, not just that fuels you and serves you, but it also serves the people around you, and your community. I see more people buying books. Amazing. So Amazon or Dr. Breus's site, or there's something else that you had said. Million Books, something, what was it?
So Books A Million is
Books
selling
A
it
Million. Mm-hmm.
as well. And if you go to myenergyquiz.com or energizemyself.com, you can get it there. And I'm so grateful for people who are purchasing the book, because I really feel confident that it's going to be helpful. Like, I don't put out a bunch of crap. Like, I put out stuff that's science-based, real. Serena, you wouldn't have me on your show if it wasn't real and didn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes. And I really, really want to punctuate that. That's one of my favorite things too about Michael. It's we nerd out, this is like totally why
we do. We totally nerd out.
We totally nerd out. And if there's anyone that you want legitimate information from, it is Dr. Breus, because he sciences everything. His focus is on sleep because he's a sleep doctor, but he sciences everything. And so that is that's the best part of all of it, is that that everything you're doing from that first touch point with doing the test to all the recommendations, it's all backed by science. And
100%.
And the best part is it's so simple. He just really took all that research and he simplified it for us, which is such a gift. And I think, I need that book and can't wait to get it, honey. And what I would also say is, get it for your family, get it for your friends and your family who may have struggled with their sleep or their diet or their eating habits, who may be struggling with fatigue or even just some motivation, because when you feel better, you're more motivated on so many levels. And so this is something that just makes it so easy, so doable, easy to assimilate into your life, so that it becomes something you don't even have to really think about. And that's what I love about everything that you do. But just especially with this book, because it really just makes it so easy. And we are both in that space where we just want to give people the best opportunities to help themselves heal, to help optimize themselves, to help themselves in their own journey, because we're all about empowering you. And so these are one of the tools that I think that not just for yourself, but for people in your life, people that you care about, like how can you optimize, how can you help them empower and optimize themselves? So I think this is one of the best things. And I'm so excited about this book. And is it officially out? Is it officially out today?
Right this very moment. Today is the launch day. I wanted to celebrate it with you, because you're an important person in my life, and with your tribe and your family. So thank you all, everybody here, for understanding and being part of this launch day with me. Mm-hmm. This is my 4th book. It's the first time I've ever written a book, not just on sleep, but actually about energy, sleep, diet, all of the important things in everyone's life. And you brought up a great point. It's like, how cool wouldn't it be great to give somebody energy for a Christmas present, right? Or for a Kwanzaa present, or for Hanukkah, or for whatever holiday that you celebrate, right? Like, I'm going to give you the gift of more energy. Like, fucking who, right? Like, let's go. Right?
And that's the best thing. That is what you can do. With someone says, I want to win the book. Oh, we do wins and giveaways sometimes.
Sure, I can do that. Absolutely.
Can we do that today? Okay, well then then we got to make it a little bit, they've got to earn it. Okay, you guys. So for those of you who have been on with us the whole time, I, as always, really honor you and cherish you, and thank you for always staying on and staying so engaged. So what we usually is, you got to do a screenshot of the live right now, and then tag me, tag Dr. Breus. If you have a private account, that's okay. You're still qualified. Just go ahead and send it as a DM. But I want you to also tell us what you've learned. Dr. Breus has shared all kinds of great points, great hacks. You've got to tell us at least 3 things that you've learned, and I want you to share that with your community. Share that with your friends, your family, the 3 things that you learned just from this live that you're going to get out of this book. And if you share that, then we'll pick somebody.
And one more thing I want you to share is I want you to share what your chronotype is from taking the quiz, and what your body type is from taking the quiz. So take the quiz, let us know. Take a screenshot, let us know what's going on. And not only are we going to give away several copies of the book, but I'm going to autograph them myself and personalize them to you because
Wow.
Serena and I live so close together. We'll make that happen. So we're going to give away 5 copies of the book to people who have gone out there, done the quiz, tagged me, tagged Serena. Also, please tag my co-author, Stacey Griffith, at Stacey G NYC. We love you guys. Can't wait to give away some books.
Yay! Oh my goodness, that's so generous, you guys. There's 5, so 5 of you guys. But you gotta take the quiz. You gotta tell us the chronotype. Oh, thank you so much, Elena. She's got instructions right here. Screenshot, DM us plus Stacey. Share 3 things you learned and your chronotype and your body type, and we will pick 5 winners that are going to get personalized autographed copies. So it's not just you're not just getting a signature. You're going to get personalized copies, and that's so beautiful and so generous. Thank you so much, Michael. You're just awesome. So
it's my pleasure. I love you. I love your tribe. I'm always happy to help out as many people as I can. And look, at the end of the day, we're spreading energy. That's a great thing to do.
Yes.
I'm so excited. It feels so positive, especially during times like this where things are a little kind of weird right now when we've got the virus and all this going on. This is a positive place for everyone to go. The book is called Energize, Go from Dragging Ass to Kicking It in 30 Days. And that's what you're going to do, I promise.
Yes, right here, you guys. So screenshot, do the thing, DM us, do the test. Let us know your body type, your chronotype, and what you learned today. So thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. Michael, Dr. Breus, I love you so much. I can't wait to see you. I know I'll get to see you because you'll be handing over these books to me, and we're going to get to the winners. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited, you guys. And if you have any questions, then just reach out. Give Dr. Breus a follow. Make sure you join his email list. Make sure you check out his other books. He's got 4 other ones. He's just such an amazing soul, an amazing source of information. And I'm so grateful that you came on here today and launched with us and made us a part of this. And just thank you for spending the time with everyone.
So it's my honor to be here, to be with you in every way, shape, and form. So thank you so much, Serena. And thank you to your tribe, who I love and care for dearly. And also, love Giz. He's my man.
He's right here.
There he is, hanging with us, getting some energy. I love it.
Yay. Well, I will talk to you so soon. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you guys. Stay tuned and message us if you have any questions. All right. Yes, it will be recorded. Someone said they missed the live. We will. This is always recorded. It'll be repurposed. And stay tuned, and we'll let you know when it's going to be out. All right. Bye, guys.
Peace.